Hello, this is Mac here and welcome to the second day of my Silverstone experience. This is the qualifying day. It's Saturday the 5th of July. You can see here we're walking down the back of the International Pit Straight. I think this is the main, not the main straight, but the pit straight. So we went to our stand, which is at Club Corner, and we started to watch practice 3. We didn't arrive exactly on time for the start of practice 3, but we were able to watch quite a few of the cars come around. As you can see, the track is pretty wet at the moment. There's a lot of water off the racing line, and you can see the cars are struggling. You can see their caveats almost spinning it into the wall, and you'll see a lot of cars struggle throughout practice here. We had a pretty good seat in that Club Corner. It's the last chicane before the start-finish straight. And we had a really good view of cars going through the last corner, especially this corner you're seeing now, where they couldn't really take it flat out because of obviously the wet track. You can really see as well drivers struggling with their cars in order to control them, especially the lower end teams like Toro Rosso. You can see here, you could just see the difference in pace between the top teams and the lower end teams, and obviously lower end teams. Drivers are struggling a lot more with their car due to less aerodynamic grip and downforce, etc. So yeah, we spent quite a long time in our stand here looking at over practice. It was interesting to see which tyres people were going on to, because the track here was always changing from full wets to inters, and later on in the practice session you saw better teams like Red Bull here coming out to practice. This was Vettel coming around the final corner, and you can just see that the cars look a lot easier to drive than the lower end teams. I just liked taking footage of the Lotus here. You can see it spinning as he went around the final. I think that was Maldonado spinning as he went around the final corner, because he just put his tyre on the outside curb there, which is quite a bad idea because of the standing water. But Lotus was really struggling in the wet. You can just see it had quite a bit of front end grip. The rear end grip was quite bad, and Mercedes as usual was dominating. But I would like to point out though that there was quite a lot of British support in the stands, so if you hear cheering, that's when a British driver comes through, like Button. You'll see him with his pink helmet, and Hamilton with his white helmet in Mercedes. So we watched practice 3, and after watching cars spin out and do bad things, we headed across to the Gamezone, which is basically where these F1 sims, I'm saying that with a bit of yeah, they're not really F1 sims, they're F1 2013, but they've got a sort of sim set up. We headed across to the Gamezone here, where a few GP2 drivers such as Felipe Nasr here, I think Mitch Evans and Julian Palmer were there as well, the GP2 drivers. They got a shot on these sims and they did pretty well, considering this is the first time they're actually on these sims. And I'm not going to show you the full video, but you can see that in another video. So after heading out the Gamezone, we headed to qualifying. We headed to our seats qualifying, and the track's dried out a little bit, so most teams, well, all teams are actually running inters at the moment. It's too wet for slicks, but it's too dry for inters, so drivers were still kind of struggling with their cars. The Ferrari looked really nice. You can see here that was Raikkonen going on the final corners. I think the Ferrari definitely got the best looking car of the weekend, and obviously Lewis Hamilton got a huge cheer when he goes past. I think there was actually more support for Button than Hamilton. You can just see the cars going through here. Sorry about the camera shake. I had to kind of hold the camera without having a tripod, as I was obviously sitting in a seat, and it was pretty freezing actually because there wasn't any sunlight going on. But after qualifying, I headed into the sims. You can see me here sitting in the simulator. I had a bit of a trouble looking with the wheel and trying to get the right settings, but I'm not going to show you full video as it would spoil a bit. This was part of a 3-lap race with 6 other people of the day. I was one of the 6 quickest people of the day on Saturday in the Sims, so I got the chance to race against the other 5 people who were quickest. And I'm not going to show you too much because that'll be revealed in our video, just like the GP2 drivers video. There's going to be highlights from the weekend in individual videos, just the best moments, and this race that I'm in right now is probably one of the best moments. You see me messing up because the brakes were kind of hard to get used to, but yeah, you'll see a few individual videos later on, including this one, which is probably the best highlight of the weekend, other than the race, of course. Anyway, this has been Mac here. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like, comment and subscribe, and tomorrow the Silverstone Sunday video will be out.